book by C.S. Lewis. He wrote a book called The Abolition of Man, which is about the loss of virtue and the loss of what we would call the, Sharia, sacred law. He calls it the Tao, that human beings have lost their fitrah and that they're becoming empty people. He calls them men without chests. They've become empty, mediocre people. And he taught, Kierkegaard in this present age, he talks about, that the ancients, they were such that if a man would risk his life for something and he achieved it, they would honor him and exalt. He said now, modern people, he said, their heroes are people that pretend to risk their life, right? We call them actors. So he said they're like somebody who skates well and he pretends to get near where it's dangerous to skate and everybody says, ooh, ah. It's not, it's all phony. I mean, there was a time when people, the heroes of people in this country were statesmen, were philosophers, were great philanthropists, teachers, things like that. Now it's people want to be famous or be actors or have a YouTube channel. Amazing. Without accomplishing anything. Like to be a celebrity. There's people that aspire to be a celebrity. Like that's their aspiration. There's people that are famous for simply being famous. They're nothing. Just famous for being famous. Any other? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask what the relationship between Sa'adah and guidance is in the Arabic language.
I mean, hidayah, there's different words for guidance, but the main one that's used, huda lil muttaqeen in the Quran, is hidayah, which is related to gift. Hadiyah is a gift. The Prophet is al-hadi, majazan. Al-hadi al-haqiqi, innaka la tahdi man ahbabt. Like in Allah says, tahdi ila sirat al-mustaqim. So the Prophet is the hadi, majazan. Allah is the true guide, but the Prophet ﷺ is his vicegerent, and he guides humanity. All the prophets are guides. So the relationship is that real joy in this world is having guidance. It's like the Prophet ﷺ said about a man who, it's in Sahih Bukhari, about a man who's in the desert and he loses his camel and he thinks he's going to die. And then he finds his camel. And he's in such intense joy that he shouts, Allahumma anta abdu wa ana rabbuka. Oh Allah, you're my slave and I'm your servant. The Prophet ﷺ said, akhta'a min shiddati farihihi. He made a mistake. He was so happy that he said, oh God, you're my servant, I'm your Lord. He meant, you're my Lord and I'm your servant. But out of his absolute joy, he uttered that ecstatic statement. So the Prophet ﷺ said that is what Allah wants from us, is that tawbah, is that joy of finding God, that will save you in the desert of the dunya. Your zad and your rakib. The hajj, what do you need for hajj? You need the zad and the rakib. That's it. If you have those two, it's wajib on you. So the hajj is going back to the house of Allah, to kiss the stone, which represents yamin Allah fil ard. It's like going to the king, and then they kiss the hand of the king. So that's the journey back to Allah. It's that we're all on a pilgrimage. This is the dunya. We're on the pilgrimage to Allah. And we're going karhan aw ta'an, willingly or unwillingly. We're all going back to Allah. We're all going back. People can say that there's no afterlife. That's fine. They can say that. But that doesn't mean it's not true. That doesn't mean it's true. They can say it. There's no afterlife. Doesn't mean it's true. We can be in here. I can say it's not raining outside and it's raining. Doesn't mean just because I'm saying it. So, and Allah says, "Intadiru, inni ma'akum minal muntadirin." Wait, I'm waiting with you. We're all going to see. So there's believers, there's disbelievers, and then there's the people that wave between the two. But he'll show you in this book why it's foolish not to believe in the afterlife. And he'll show you in this book why, if you believe in Allah sincerely and if you set out on this path, he'll open things up to you to where you'll have a certainty in your heart.